Recently, a publisher offered me a contract for my new book. There was just one condition. I had to strip out any trace of AI from how the book had been written. I declined. I want to explain why, but to get there I think we need to start somewhere much older than AI. We've always understood ourselves as made in the image of a creator, a God who creates by speaking, "Let there be light," and who knows us completely. The psalmist puts it starkly, "You've searched me and known me." Speech that brings something into being fully known. These aren't incidental things, they sit close to the centre of what it's meant to be human, made in that image. And now quite suddenly we have something that imitates both, a machine that speaks fluently and produces things that look uncannily like being known, that seems to understand what we mean before we've finished saying it. So the real question isn't really, is AI good or bad? It's something closer to what happens to our sense of ourselves as creators, as known, when a machine can convincingly imitate the very things we thought were distinctly ours. The Christian contemplative tradition has actually been sitting with a version of this question for centuries, just from the other direction. Meister Eckhart, writing 700 years ago, kept pointing away from words rather than towards them. God, he said, isn't found through accumulating more concepts, more descriptions, more clever things said about the divine. God is found in a kind of unknowing, in the stripping away of what we think we've grasped. Set that next to what AI does. It produces words without end, fluent, confident, endlessly available. And Eckhart's whole instinct runs the other way, that the truest things aren't arrived at by adding more, but by falling silent. Contemplative faith has never been about who can produce the most compelling words. If anything, it's suspicious of exactly that. Which brings me back to the book and to that publisher's condition. Writing about AI, whilst also using AI as part of the process, has been a strange kind of doubling. The book became, in a very real sense, evidence for its own argument, before it had even reached anyone's hands. I couldn't in good conscience pretend that hadn't happened. So when asked to erase it from the record, the honest answer was no, not defiance, just an unwillingness to write about integrity dishonestly. I don't have a tidy conclusion to offer you, and I'm not sure a contemplative question ever really wants one. So instead, something to simply carry with you this week in the spirit of the Exegena. Where this week might you have reached for more words when what was actually needed was less? More noise when what was needed was silence? That's the question I'm sitting with. It's a bigger one than AI alone. If any of this resonates, my new book, The Ground is Shaking, goes further into this territory. You can find out more and sign up for early updates on the early bird page of the Exegena website. I'll pop the link in the description.